Hey Caroline, it's Clara. It's 10:03, Friday, October 10th. My passions are definitely like the ones that people don't know about. I love my marching band color guard thing. It's funny because I didn't at first. Like my freshman year I hated marching band color guard, and some of the reasons I joined color guard, the first one is that when I was really little my dad took me to the Rose Parade. And I got to watch all these people like walking down in the parade, and I saw the cheerleaders and thought I couldn't do that. But then I saw the marching band and I thought I don't play an instrument. And then I saw this girl tossing batons, which I thought was freaking intense because she had them on fire and everything. And fire batons were really, really cool. And I thought I could do that. I can't cheerlead, but I can toss fire batons. I really wanted to do that, and so I intended on joining color guard for a long time. And then my 8th grade year, my sister, who is a year older than me, said, oh no, everyone hates the color guard people, so I joined swim team. And then my shoulder started acting funny because I fell out of a ski lift, and so I couldn't swim anymore, and I realized, you know, I should just give it a try because I didn't, and I should. In marching band and color guard, we spend way too much time together, so we're like a big family. I have practice 3 days a week for 2 hours together. Every Friday night we have band and we go to football games. I also have to go to band camp. It's where we learn most of the show. I learned the first movement in the first, like, my week of band camp. In guard, something I found out was you toss everything you get your hands on. If it's in my hands, I will throw it. I recently promised a friend's dad that I would learn how to juggle, specifically with daggers or knives, and then eventually flaming stuff. So I said, if you could get me batons, I'll juggle whatever you really want, but I need to, you know, learn how to juggle first. So I was working, juggling those, like, hacky sack things, but I failed. And then he told me, you know what you really want to learn how to do is work with the hammers first. So I juggled with hammers, like, yesterday. It was fun. I'm pretty sure I'm going to either break something or ruin my house. I'll probably bring down the house first. But yeah, it's really fun. It looks scarier than it actually is because when you toss a hammer, it comes right back into your hands. Like, the handle is right there for you. That's just how they're weighted. Also, before I was in color guard, I used to toss, I used to play with the poi balls. I used to play with poi. Poi are Hawaiian, Polynesian kind of dancing instrument. I don't know what you call them. But it's a ball of, I don't really know, attached to a string. And you just kind of swing them around. I don't know as much anymore, but I progressed all the way to like fire poi, but then I like singed off my hair, and I spent a few years growing it back. So I don't think I'll be doing that again, but I'd like to learn again. I'm not afraid of throwing fire around like a lot of people should be, which is probably why I get into so many accidents. Another fun thing about guard is I do crazy stuff for it. I went out and bought a bunch of fake flowers and made flower clips. I don't know if this is on my other video or not, so I made 10 of these, and they really work, and they're really cool, and we're using them for our show tonight. Another passion of mine has to be music, specifically choral music. Specifically into that, I love opera, like, a lot, and I did an opera camp a couple years ago, and that was really fun. I was Carabino in Marriage of Figaro. It was really funny because he's obsessed with women, and the problem with it is, in the time that the opera was written, they used to have women sing the men's parts, or at least the boys' parts, because the boys weren't mature enough to sing the notes that they're supposed to be able to in the songs, and women were, and we looked shorter. So I got to pretty much like tape down my chest, put socks in my pants, and sing an aria about how every woman gave me a boner. The whole thing was in Italian, which is great because no one understood what I said, except for the point where they had the subtitles. The subtitles really suck. Every person in the theater got to listen to me sing heartfelt arias about my lust for every woman I saw. I'm a girl. Yeah, my parents don't want me singing for Carabino anymore. I'm looking into going to opera camps this year, the Tanglewood Institute in Boston or something. A friend went there last year, so he told me to go this year. Another obsession, I guess, has to be, or not obsession, passion. I love to draw, but I have sketchbook after sketchbook of stuff I just do. It's one of those things, because when I have nothing better to do with my life, I just sit down and draw. I get these random urges to draw in charcoal or whatever, and so I just kind of look up stuff and draw it. I have really overactive imagination, so I illustrate things, especially stories that I'm reading. If you look in most of my books, they'll have illustrations in the margins, especially the ones I have to read for school. The ones I have to read for school are covered in illustrations. Sometimes I slip drawings related to the book into books I borrow from the library at school or school books, because I think it's really funny to see people like open up their book and see a random illustration in there, and I like making people stay exciting, I guess. Every day people should try and brighten someone else's day in the most random way possible. Not really, no one should. It creeps them out. I draw on everything. I'm doing a pair of shoes for my aunt. Maleficent is her homegirl or something, so I did a pair of Maleficent shoes. They're white canvas, like band slip-ons, and on one side has the briars, and on the other side has the inside of her castle. It's not dark enough, unfortunately, but it looks pretty cool in real life. On the other side, on the other shoe is Maleficent as a dragon, and I thought that was really fun because together they like match. See? Together they match. I forgot to add the, I can't find my black pen, so poor dragon Maleficent isn't black, but they're the briars. And then on this side, it's going to be Prince Philip, and he's on his little cliff, and there was going to be like a dragon here, but I think it's better with just him standing there looking helpless, or macho, whichever you prefer. Yeah. What was your other question? Shit. My idols, I don't really have any idols, like, at all, like a hero or something. I guess you could say Joan of Arc, because I loved this girl power thing she had going on. Silly, right? She was really cool. I think it's awesome that she managed to lead an entire French army to a semblance of victory. It's just that she had the self-confidence and she had the ability to get up and say, you know what, I'm a peasant, but I believe this, and I'm gonna do it. And even if it kills me, which it did. My other idols, sort of, or heroes, I guess, I love Audrey Hepburn because she had this poise about her, and I love that because I've been raised that, like, appearances are everything, and you try to make a good impression no matter where you go. You never know when you're gonna meet, you know, the guy of your dreams, or your future employer, or even, you know, a really, really cool person, and you want to look good for that. So most people never see me like leave the house in like ratty sweats and a jacket and like a sweatshirt. I don't own, I do, but I can't find it, a sweatshirt anymore. I own hoodies, but no real sweatshirts. I'll go find one. She overcame a heart problem, and she managed to be this graceful, lovely woman, and I wish I could do that, but I'm not a size 0. So Caroline, I found a sweatshirt and jazz pants I kind of own. I got this at Kings Canyon somewhere in, I think it was Arizona. It doesn't fit very well because the neck is really, really tight. And the closest thing I have to sweatpants right now are my black jazz pants because I take too much dance. Not as much as your best friend, though. I also made this really awesome French roast. Actually, it's really bad, so I had to milk it down a whole lot with creamer and sugar and lots of milk. So it just kind of tastes funny. One of my passions is cooking too, sort of. I love making coffee. I love making food, especially cafe food, because I'm a nerd and I'm a cafe person. I forgot to add an I'm done thing, so I think I'm done. I'm sorry this video was so long. There's some cool stuff at the end, though. Bye, Caroline.